Hey, welcome to Bliss. Today we're going to be going over how to create a checklist for your cruise. Before watching this video, I do recommend that you go and watch our video on equipment inventory because these two features are very closely related to each other. We're going to start off by hitting checklists. And just note that this little tag right here that says beta, that means that we're still in the process of developing this feature. And that it's going to change quite significantly over the next 6 months to a year, just because we're still working on making it better. It's very brand new right now. So the purpose of this feature is to give you the ability to give your crews a list of things to do on a regular basis. Something that they can quickly go into the app and check off to see if they've done. And once they check them off, you can see what they've done. So at the top is where you create a checklist and also select checklists. And at the bottom is a list of all the completed and saved checklists that your crews have done throughout the time that they've been with you. So we're going to start off by clicking this plus button here. And we're going to name our checklist weekly checklist. I'm going to choose a truck, and I'm going to select red truck, which is one that I made at a different time. And then I actually can write down the task. So let's say that I want my first task to be wash the truck. Maybe I want them to do that every week for some reason. So then I have a couple options here, and it won't let me add it until I select one of these options. The options are, so it's what do you want the checklist item to look like, and what actions do you want the crew member to be able to take when they're filling out the checklist form. If you just want them to check a box and mark it as done, this is what you would do. So for this example, let's go ahead and do that. Let's do another task. Let's say I want them to log weekly hours. And in this one, I want them to be able to add text so that they can tell me exactly how many hours they worked. Okay, so then you can see right here, they have the ability to enter in text. This right here gives me the ability to also rearrange it, so you can change the order. I can also delete these with these buttons, but I'm not going to do that. The last thing I'm going to say is log time spent on X equipment. And remember that we just assigned this checklist to a truck. And so what this means, if I click this button here, when you click this button, it looks at the equipment that you have assigned to this truck, which we talked about in our equipment and inventory video, and then they can select, any piece of equipment that's assigned to the truck. And when we click add, this is an additional feature that we talked about in the equipment inventory video. Essentially what it is you can add maintenance reminders. So if they are logging time that they're spending on, any piece of equipment that you have on the truck, you can set it up to have for maintenance reminders, so that after 40 hours you can say okay, this just needs to go into the shop to make sure that it's going to be running okay. But I'm going to skip that for now. But so now when they fill in this form and they fill in a number here, that how many hours they spent on the truck, you can see how many hours your equipment has been running in the equipment and inventory feature. And maybe I just want to add a quick note here that says this is a weekly list. Please hit complete on every Sunday. And I'm going to save. So now let's go and find our checklist. There's a lot in here. Like I said, this is kind of a funny test account that we have. But over here to the right, you can see this is the one that we just created, and I can view it in a modal. I can edit it. I can delete it. And this actually lets me fill it out as if I was a crew member. But I don't think we need to do that right now because I'm going to do it over here. So bring your attention over to the left-hand side. So this is the crew version of the app. So when you log into your app, if you are an admin, this is not what you're going to see. You'll see something very different. So the crew version of the app is stripped out, meaning they don't see the same information about the cost of jobs and finances and things like that. They just kind of get the know-how. So at the bottom, I'm gonna click on checklist. Again, it has that little beta tag. You can see here, this is a checklist that someone has completed before, but I'm gonna click the plus sign in the top right hand corner. I'm going to select a checklist. I'm going to go down to the checklist that we just created, which is weekly checklist. And now I have the ability to fill this out. So let's just say it's Sunday and I wash the truck. They can add notes if they want, so they can say the truck is clean, yay. They can also add a photo. Okay, log weekly hours. Let's say this week I worked 45 hours. Yay me, I get overtime. Log time spent on equipment. Let's say I spent 30, that's a long time. Let's say I spent 5 hours on this specific piece of equipment. And then if I want to, I can add additional notes or photos, but I'm going to save this. Checklist has been saved. Okay, cool. So now in my main menu, I have two options. I have the checklist that you had seen before, the one that was already complete, and I have this one right now that's in progress. And I have, if I want it to be, if I'm not going to make any more changes, instead of hitting save, I can just go ahead and hit complete. And now you can see I have two completed checklists. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I think you know how to reach us. It's hello@getbliss.com. Thank you so much.